high.
Got your hat?
Yeah, we need it. Did you know, right, there's 6,800 disused or abandoned stations in this country, or the UK.
I personally did, because, you know, we've kind of...
Maybe some of these people will too, but you might not. We've done nearly 500 or thereabouts. Maybe we'll put the figures down here. Yeah.
Where's my hat?
I don't know. Where's your hat?
It's in the car.
Welcome to the Calne Branch Line.
Now we're going filming in the middle of nowhere. Which pair of shoes should I wear?
Okay. Right. Hi. Short bit of driving before we can start walking along this Calne Branch Line. Have you got what is extremely relevant to today's video? 2 bacon baps. Now there's a reason why those bacon baps are relevant to today's video. We'll come to that very shortly. We'll also tell you why the taxi rank shouldn't really be there, and I don't understand it. I'm really confused.
Okay.
The Calne Branch Line. First stop Chippenham, because obviously this is where the branch line started. Don't want to give too much away, but the taxi rank at the moment looks like a platform, Rebecca.
It does.
Now that's curious for a reason we'll come to very shortly, because it shouldn't be there.
Shouldn't it?
No.
Oh.
My eyes!
Bit bright.
Yeah. So just back there is Chippenham, where we just were getting our bacon baps. Very relevant, tell you that in a minute. So Chippenham was built, I think 1841 it opened, GWR. And it took another 20 years or so for them to realise actually what branch lines were opening up around the country, and they could do this thing called a branch line. Calne had a lot of industry, and at one point there was 16 mills there, all probably already being served by the canal, so a branch railway was on the cards. And in fact, I believe they had the largest bacon producing factory in England at the time.
Whoa.
So clearly that bacon baps, that needed a railway. So whilst Rebecca gets a shot of a squirrel, just going to go on top of that bridge, that overbridge, which looks really rather delightful. Very old, early masonry on it. Right, quick stop before we crack on to what was the site of an old viaduct across the River Avon.
I'm taking the high road, and he's taking the low road.
Very beautiful. Try and find some old pictures for you. Rebecca's going to do the top part. I'm going to have a quick look at the structure from underneath. Masonry abutments and the braced bits where they've extended, still here for everybody to see. Lots of additions to it, I guess, in the early stages, because there's a mix of brick, masonry, and then on top, of course, you've got the now cycle route. So it has been reused and repurposed, which is quite good.
I'm on what was a viaduct. Now it's a bit of a metal chisel going on. Ooh, I can see Paul. Those little steps.
Got a bit warm, so I took my hat off, but now I've got hat hair, Rebecca.
Hat hair?
I've got
Ooh,
hat. I have got hat hair, so excuse the hat hair. Can we talk bacon again?
Sorry, I was looking at the robin.
Cool. Can we talk bacon?
Bacon?
Bacon.
It was very nice bacon bat.
It was bacon.
A lot of bacon.
So your name is Harris, your surname is Harris. You're one of the largest producers of bacon in the country, and you want to get your bacon to market quick.
Okay.
Well, you can't use the canal, right? Because that's going to take you a few days to get to wherever it's going to go.
That's not very quick.
That's not quick at all. I mean, if you go to Bristol, it's probably like 2 or 3 day barge trip, or at least 2 days plus maybe.
Yep, that's a problem.
That's a problem. So all of a sudden, you know there's a railway at Chippenham, and you think, do you know what, I could utilise that railway, but it's still 4 or 5 miles away. So late 1850s, that's been around for nearly 20 years. The Harris family stump up quite a significant sum of cash towards the building of the branch line. They came up with nearly £10,000 in 1859 towards the quoted £26,000 to build this railway. A bit of toing and froing, construction starts. So ahead of us is a gorgeous bridge, again nearly entirely masonry apart from the actual arch itself, which is 4 bricks deep, and the other side of it is Stanley Halt. Now I think this was built in 1905, so probably an addition by GWR, who I think were running the line by then, I think, to stump up the numbers in terms of traffic, because there's a little bit of a population here. But I'm guessing because it was an old halt, we're going to see nothing. This doesn't work. So ahead of us, look, do you know what, I'm going to say that is what it is. Big bunch of masonry and wood shoved in the corner there, and I wonder if that is the remnants of the Stanley Halt. Perhaps.
It's a bit much of a coinky dinky if it's not,
because
it's just a random pile in the middle of grasslands basically.
So we're going to tick this off and say we've done this in 1905 to 1965, 60-year long halt this was open for on the Calne Branch. Next up we've got a little treat in stall. I'm talking too much.
You are.
Shut up, Paul. Get on with the next shot.
Let's go.
Go. Back on cycle route 403, which is the entirety of this branch line. We love it when you can do that. You can actually walk along an old railway. Hattersley, I think is the name of the contractor. Hattersley, employed by our James Baird Burke to build the line. And he said, right, 27 grand, build it for you, mate. Signed up, job done. But where there is a problem is the contractor said, hang on a minute, I didn't quote you for the railway stations on the way. So there's a big dispute. And he says, right, I'm off, let's see you later, mate. So the contractor disappears. He's later tempted back by the promise of £10,000 worth of shares and the arranged price of 26 grand, not to include stations. So I don't know who they got to build the 2 stations. Another cool masonry, entirely masonry. This one's interesting how they differ. Perhaps there was like repairs made, but look at that. That's all masonry lined. Even the arch is masonry lined. That's really beautiful, isn't it?
It's stunning.
You don't expect this on a small branch line built for 28 grand.
No.
A really, really beautiful bridge like that. Look at it. Right, so we're coming up to Black Dog Halt, which was originally built for this line, but I think it was built as a private station. We'll come to that shortly when we get there, but we're also coming up to the loudest road in history. It is loud, is it just me?
It is loud, it's quite a small road as well.
It's a small road, but it's the busiest road you've seen in your life, and we're coming up to what looks like a new but rickety, is that a thing, new and rickety? New and rickety suspension bridge. Again, there'd have been an old bridge over here at some point, but it looks, yeah. I can confirm it feels wobbly. Oh my god.
Like this.
That's really weird. Look at the steel beam structures there, and it feels as wobbly as you like. So Black Dog Halt tick. One more station to do on this line. Carry on going up the gradient here. It's quite a steep ground. I think it was 1 in 60 at some point. So anyway, back to the story. 1862. Board of Trade, or late 1862, I think the Board of Trade come to check out the line.
And they went, no.
And they said, no. They said no for a few reasons. Number one, they didn't put any provisions in, an engine shed, goods shed, sidings, that sort of thing. They just forgot.
There's no platform at Chippenham, that was it? That's how good. And you can go and see.
The start of the line, this is what I was saying about the taxi rank earlier. There looked like there was a spare platform. Perhaps they built that later in the time of the life of the railway. So it turns out Black Dog Halt isn't far away at all. It's only just round that curve there, less than sort of 500 metres or so before we end up near Calne. Now I can just see some houses in the distance, but for the end of the line for this railway, and it's a sort of private running, was I think at the start 1872 when GWR said, sorry, we're going to standard gauge from broad gauge now.
Oh,
and that cost the line £500.
funky gate.
Very funky gate. That cost the line £500. And of course, they were losing money at this stage, being very profitable with all the expected goods and the bacon. Rebecca's just spotted.
Nobody wants to lose the bacon.
No one wants to lose their bacon. It's some really funky gates.
That's really wide.
It's old broad gauge railway, which we've often seen where they reuse the broad gauge track for fencing and bits, but it's like an old proper gateway. I wonder if this is actually a crossing because we're nowhere near the station yet, or we are near, so it's 200 metres or so.
Could be, couldn't it?
I'm wondering if this is an old farm crossing, and I bet you across the other way there, look,
Is there some more?
you've got some more. So this is an old, I don't know, level crossing, but a crossing because here we are again,
What is?
old broad gauge track, and there's the other side there, so it's nearly is. I wonder if there's like an agricultural crossing of.
It's just a bit prettier on that side. They've
Yeah.
got the like funky sides.
So standard gauge was switched to, and that cost, as I say, £500 to the company, and they carried on, but they were still losing money left, right and centre, and eventually 1892 GWR purchased the line and the running and everything about it pretty much for the original cost that the investors, the shareholders actually put in themselves. So they kind of got their money back, not really an investment as such, as many railways weren't. And now here we go. Right, this is so important because so many times we see this at the end of a line, right? You can see, if I come up here, right, so we've just entered, behind me there, a housing estate, new housing estate, probably only within the last decade. And here you can see this embankment that we're on. So you've got a slope off that side, you've got a slope off that side, and this embankment sort of opens out into a triangle. Now, if you didn't know there was a railway here, this would be the big giveaway because you've got the sort of the single track entrance there, and this embankment widens as it goes on. And we've got now ahead of us a huge new housing estate called Station Road with lots of little branches off of it. And it opened out into a big old yard that Calne was. Big sort of telltale giveaway that we're there at the end of the line. Spin the camera around, and there is a housing estate. It grumbles for what it is because we all need somewhere to live, of course. But the end of this line isn't very dramatic compared to some that we've seen. A few good stops along the way. This has been the very short Calne branch, but we didn't want to walk it because we knew you could walk it. We knew you can cycle it. So if you're in this area, come and do it. Come and cycle Route 403.
Yeah, I'm sure that's it.
Route 403.
It's been in the clips, you've seen it.
Yeah. We hope you've enjoyed today's little canal and railway walk that we've done, because we've done both. We've been a bit sneaky. Top YouTube tip, film 2 videos in one day.
Yep.
We'll see you this time next week.